You can leave the toxic relationship and still feel like your body is living in it.
That's the part people don't understand. They'll say, you're out now. Why are you still triggered? Because your body doesn't heal just because your relationship status has changed.
That's right. You may still flinch when somebody changes their tone, and you may still over-explain yourself. You may still feel bored in a healthy relationship because your body is used to that chaos.
So today we're talking about what happens after toxic love, why your nervous system reacts the way it does, and what recovery can actually look like.
Not that fake, just move on version.
Yeah, the real version. Welcome back to Touch My Health. I'm Katie.
And I'm Matt.
This week, we've been talking about red flags, love bombing, and the patterns people miss in toxic relationships.
But today is the bridge, because it's one thing to identify the toxic behavior, and it's another thing to understand what it did to you.
And and this is where a lot of people get stuck. Mm-hmm. They can name the narcissist, they can name the love bombing, they can name the manipulation, but they still don't understand why their body feels anxious, guarded, numb, or addicted to the roller coaster.
Yeah, so this episode is about the recovery process, not a diagnosis, not labeling every person as a narcissist, just your recovery.
I think one of the biggest lies people tell themselves after a toxic relationship is, I should have known better.
Yeah, but a lot of times you did know. Your body told you. You just didn't trust what you knew.
Exactly. Your body noticed things before your mind could explain them.
Yeah, things like the tone change, the silent treatment, the way that they made you feel guilty for even having a normal need, and the way that you started editing yourself so they wouldn't get mad. You just kind of are walking on eggshells, and then later you look back and say, how did I miss that?
Yeah, and you didn't miss it. You overrode it and ignored it. And that may seem harsh, but it's the truth. Mm-hmm. And I don't say that to blame anyone. I say it because recovery requires you to rebuild trust with yourself. And it requires honesty with yourself.
Yeah, because if you keep telling yourself, I'm stupid, I ignored everything, you're still attacking yourself.
Yeah.
And all that's going to do is keep you stuck. You've got to shift from I was dumb or I was naive to I was trying to survive with the tools that I had. If you always talk negative to yourself, your brain is going to think that that is the truth. And you can't keep
live like
dogging yourself all the time.
Yeah, and that's not an excuse. That's putting it into context. If you look back and realize your body knew before your mind admitted it, then drop a comment and let us know your story.
So first, let's talk about why love bombing works. And love bombing is dangerous because it doesn't feel dangerous at first. It feels amazing. It gives you those butterflies. It feels like, finally, someone sees me.
Especially if you've been ignored or rejected, abandoned, or made to feel like you were too much, right? Then someone comes in with constant attention, big promises, future plans, nonstop affection, and your nervous system goes, oh, this is safety. This is exciting. This must be true love.
Intensity and safety are not the same thing.
Right.
The problem is love bombing gives you the reward before the trust has been earned. And then when the attention changes, you start chasing the beginning. You start remembering everything at the beginning that they did, all the big plans, all the big future promises and such.
Yep. You're not just missing the person, you're missing the version of them that made your body and you feel chosen. Mm-hmm. That's why people stay longer than they thought they would, or they look back and they're like, yeah, I stayed way longer than I should have.
Oh, right. Yeah, because they're not just attached to the relationship, they're attached to the hope of getting that beginning back.
Yeah, and this is where we need to be really honest. Some of us were not all about or crazy about said person, right? We were addicted to the relief and the excitement that they gave us in the beginning. That feeling in the beginning, that's what we were trying to chase. So love bombing it can be, I think we talked about this, a negative or a positive. I mean,
Right.
we're talking about it right now in the sense of it, a negative thing. But there are people who love bomb because I don't think they know any better. They just think, like we have a friend who we kind of think maybe he love bombed in the beginning, but it wasn't out of maliciousness or because he's a bad person. It's because I think he thinks that's the only way that you gain someone's love and trust and affection. So there's like, what did I say? 2 coins?
Yeah, two sides to the coin.
Sides to the coin?
Right.
Right.
There are definitely 2 sides to the coin, because without the maliciousness and that malicious intent, I think love bombing can really expose someone's insecurities. And like you said, that's the way that they may only feel loved, is if they're doing grand gestures at the very beginning for someone. Maybe that's the only way that they're able to show their love for someone or even accept love from someone, is they feel like they have to buy everything and they have to
Do everything.
And like I said, just, whatever the grand gesture is, that can really, I think, work for love bombing, even though it's not maybe malicious.
Yes, like I think about also my daughter. Whenever she gets into a relationship, she's always one like going above and beyond and like doing all the things. And I don't think she's not being malicious. I think she thinks that that's how you get someone to love you. Like you think those things are expected, and not saying that you can't do those. Like, oh, I can't do that, or it's going to be considered love bombing, and then they're going to target me and think I'm a bad person. Like some people are just very affectionate, or they show love. One of their love languages could be gift giving or acts of service, things like that.
Right.
But I think where you have to pay attention and where the like gray area is when someone is love bombing in the beginning, does it stay consistent too? Like, are you 6 months to a year into the relationship and all of that has gone away and they're not the same person anymore? That's, clearly they love bombed you to get to where you are. And it could be because, like, we watched some TV shows, it was like worst ex ever or something like that,
yeah.
And we saw so many times where these really disturbed individuals love bomb the victim to try to get them either to, like give them money or help support them or move in with them because they needed a place to stay. I mean, one guy went from being straight to gay, then back to straight, like just because he needed a place to live. So he like love bombed
for a place to live.
So that's where you really have to, pay attention to it. And that's why it's important to not rush. Like let it play out so you can see, is this really just how this person is? Or are they just very loving and affectionate and they like to do this kind of thing? And they're always, you can tell that that's truly their personality. They're always going to be like that. Or are we now, a couple months in and all of a sudden things are changing. Tones are changing, moods are changing, responses are like, things are starting to look a little bit differently. This person is not looking like how they portrayed themselves to be in the beginning.
And those are the red flags to notice that you are still hanging on to that very beginning. Like we said, it's you're hanging on to those beginning times of all of those grand gestures, and
and that's why people do that.
And I think we see a lot of that. You said moving too fast. We've seen a lot. I can name about 3 or 4 instances where friends of ours or families, members of ours, have moved so quickly in a relationship where they go from meeting someone and then within 6 months they're living together and or planning a marriage. Like, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I don't think someone in the first 6 months good enough to get married or
do that big of a commitment.
Make that big of a commitment,
yeah.
In my opinion. And some people can make those commitments and make it last. And I would say most of them probably do not, because everything is moved and rushed and rushed. And just like I said before, is you're rushing to fulfill that spot in your heart because you are afraid of being lonely, or you are
Afraid of just being alone.
yeah.
So speaking of, obviously talking about love bombing, when is it a trauma response, or is this just part of your personality, kind of like what we were saying? And this is where tomorrow's short connects, because a lot of people think this is just who I am now, right? I'm just jealous. I'm clingy. I'm cold. I overthink everything. I do know that, though. That is really me. I'm too sensitive.
Yeah, but sometimes what you're calling your personality is actually a trauma response. Something from the past is triggering you.
And it's not always. I mean, we have to be careful there.
Right. And this is important. Trauma is not a free pass to mistreat people.
Absolutely.
If you're yelling, controlling, checking phones, shutting down, or punishing someone with silence, you still have to own that. Take some responsibility.
Yeah, but owning it doesn't mean shaming yourself. It means asking this question, like, where did this come from? What do I need to do to heal?
A trauma response is your body trying to protect you from something that feels familiar, even if the person in front of you is not the person who hurt you.
That's why healthy love can feel a little weird after toxic love.
Yeah, I've definitely felt that, because healthy love doesn't always give you the emotional spike you're used to. It may feel calm.
Yeah, and calm can feel boring when your body is used to mad chaos.
But boring might actually be the peace your body is needing and have been wanting the entire time.
Yeah, or your nervous system learning it doesn't have to perform anymore.
Right. You can have that peacefulness and still be in a healthy relationship, and you're actually putting your body at ease.
Yeah.
Your stress levels will go down. Your blood pressure will probably go down. You know what I mean? It's that familiar chaos, and I am very well. I know what that familiar chaos feels like, growing up in a chaotic house, and then having a chaotic marriage where there was always some form of, I don't want to say violence, but some sort of turbulence almost every day. Mm-hmm. And when you finally get into a peaceful relationship like mine and yours, where you're not fighting every day, you're able to have a communication. It feels foreign, and it takes a little while to really understand that that's what your body has been wanting.
I think that's one of the best things and biggest things I've learned is it was hard in the beginning for me to, when I had an issue or I was uncomfortable or, I wanted to talk to you about something, to not being scared to bring it up. Because before anything that was brought up, it's either like, this is a bad time, I'm stressed, why are you talking to me about this? Mm-hmm. Like something to where it's just deflection and putting it back on me. Like, this is your problem, not my problem, or being scared to have a conversation about something because worried about your reaction, but that's because that's how I was used to living. And so, even still now, 4 years, like there's still some times where I'm like, you just need to, okay, come on. He's not the same person, right? He's not that person that you were with before. You can talk to him and have a conversation. You guys aren't going to, it's not going to turn into a blow up in World War III and have silent treatment for days or be made to feel like, question myself like, okay, am I just crazy? Am I am I just being too jealous? Am I being too clingy? Or am I being too,
Or it turns into
things.
The blame game where you come to me or your ex, whatever, but you come to the other person with your emotions or your feelings.
You're upset about something. You want to discuss something.
Yep. And it turns into your fault.
Yeah.
Because of, XYZ. It's now your fault because of the way you're feeling.
Yeah.
That can definitely be a reason why you would feel a little bit of hesitation bringing something up. If that's what you're used to, if that has been your normal, your body, when you have those emotions, when you are angry or upset about something, your body is telling you, oh crap, oh no, I'm upset, but I don't want to bring it up because now I'm going to be bashed for having these emotions. And that's another.
Where you have to act like a lawyer in your mind and think of all the, cross-examination and how you're going to respond and rebuttal and all that. So
Yeah, another red flag to notice if that's you.
Yeah. Next thing is, what does a recovery plan look like, right? You're coming out of this. What are some steps to recover? And the first step, I would say, step one, is naming the pattern without making the pattern your identity. Meaning, yes, learn about love bombing, learn about narcissistic abuse, learn about trauma responses, learn about those things.
Yeah, do some research. I know I've learned a lot since we've started doing this podcast about narcissistic abuse, trauma responses, and healthy ways to recover from that. But don't build your entire identity around what happened to you, because at some point the goal is not just to prove that the person was toxic.
Right. The goal is to get yourself back.
Right.
Second step is rebuild self-trust. If toxic relationships train you to doubt yourself, recovery has to train you to trust yourself again.
That's right. And that starts with small promises.
If you say, I'm going to take a walk today, do it.
Yeah, and if you say, I'm not answering that text tonight, I'll wait till tomorrow, don't answer it. Put your phone down.
If you say, I need space, actually take the space.
Self-trust is rebuilt by watching yourself keep your own word. You have to keep yourself and hold yourself accountable to your own goals.
Yeah, it's just like with somebody else, and when you trust somebody else, you trust people who keep their word. You have to do the same for yourself. Keep your own word. Don't make excuses and not do the things you said you were going to do. If you say you're going to do something, do it.
That's huge. Trusting yourself.
Yeah.
In your recovery, you have to build your self-trust back because you've lost trust in other people. And probably,
when you've lost trust in yourself because you've been made to doubt yourself.
100%. So that's very important, is learn to trust yourself again and hold yourself to your own goals.
Step 3 is learn your body's warning signs. Your body has revealing signs.
That's right. For some people, it's tight chest, really feeling tense.
For some, it's nausea.
Yeah, and for some, it's instantly over-explaining.
For some, it could be freezing and kind of going quiet.
Yeah, where you feel like you need to shut down. And this is where you need to know your signs before you're in the middle of a trigger.
Because once you're activated, it's harder to think clearly.
So ask yourself, what does my body do when I don't feel emotionally safe?
That's a good one. Yeah, it's a good question to ask yourself. Step 4 is stop confusing chemistry with compatibility. And this one will probably hurt some people's feelings.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Strong chemistry does not mean someone is good for you. Sometimes chemistry is your trauma, recognizing a familiar pattern.
Yep, and sometimes those butterflies are actually anxiety. Sometimes obsession is not love. It's your nervous system trying to win safety from someone that's been inconsistent.
Healthy love may not feel like a roller coaster, and that doesn't mean it's missing passion.
Yeah, it just means that your body's not being dragged through that emotional whiplash that you're used to.
Right. And when you say talking about like the butterflies in the stomach, there was, I wish I could think of it, but there was an analogy someone made talking about, the butterflies in your stomach. Oh, I think it was someone said, oh, he gave me butterflies in my stomach. And someone was like, no, girl, that was just gas. Like that was meaning he was bad. Like sometimes the butterflies they're just gas bubbles. It means this is not good.
Right. And you definitely have to listen to your body when your gut's telling you to go get away.
Yeah. Step 5, last step, practice safe conflict recovery. Safe conflict recovery is not finding a relationship where you never argue.
Right. That's not real. That's not real for us. We don't argue a lot, but it's not that we don't ever argue.
Right.
We have healthy arguments.
Yeah, recovery is learning what safe conflict feels like. Safe conflict means we can disagree without threatening the relationship. It means no name calling.
No silent punishment. No bringing up every mistake from 3 years ago. And don't threaten the relationship. Don't threaten that we need to break up, or
If you don't do this, we're done.
Yeah, if you don't do this, we're done. Like, that is not something that should be held over the relationship's head. Oh my God, I'll break up with you if.
Yeah, now there are times where you do need to set boundaries. Like if this action or behavior doesn't change, I'm going to have to vacate this relationship.
Right.
But I think it's all about, we've said many times, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Correct.
So if you're using it as a threat or kind of like a way to manipulate someone to act a certain way or do something, yeah. And bringing up mistakes from 3 years ago, I think this is important too, because if you're going to use something and keep continuously bringing up, then you don't want to heal from it, in my opinion. You just want to keep it as leverage in your bank to be able to use it whenever you feel like it, right? You're not really getting over it. You're just using it as ammunition to try to justify an argument, justify a behavior, or whatever the case may be. So if someone's still constantly like bringing up mistakes,
Yeah.
they're not getting over them, and they may not want to.
They haven't moved past whatever mistake was made. If you guys have talked about it, came up with some sort of resolution, and now it's still being thrown back in your face, that's a problem.
Yeah. And then also no making someone beg for basic respect. And this is where, like, you and I have had to learn, too, some of all the things we've talked about.
Oh, yeah. Because everyone brings patterns into a relationship, but the difference is whether both people are willing to repair.
Right. Whether both people are willing to, whether it's something that happened between the two of them or happened with other people, they're willing to repair themselves or the relationship and move forward without dragging, the negative from the past with them.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's kind of self-reflection here, personal reflection for you and I. One thing I wish I knew sooner is that peace may not feel peaceful at first, right? It may feel uncomfortable, may feel suspicious, may feel like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, kind of waiting for that other penny to drop.
Yeah, that's good. For me, I think that it's not every reaction is the current person's fault.
Explain that a little bit.
When we have some sort of conflict, your body is reacting to something old, and that can be that trigger. And that doesn't mean your feelings are fake, but it does mean you have to slow down before you punish someone in the present for something someone else did in the past. For example, we had a conversation because I was triggered when we talked about getting into my bank account. And I was like, absolutely not, right? Like, no, I'm not
I
giving
asked
you...
to go look up something because you were having trouble paying a loan from your bank account. And since I work in Treasury and I do a lot of banking, I was like, oh, just give me your login info and I'll go in there and see what I can do. And you were like...
Instantly
triggered.
Yeah.
But in how you responded, it was like... What?
I was like, absolutely not. I'm not doing that. I'm not giving you access to my bank account.
Yeah, very harsh.
It was an instant trigger for me, and it took me a moment to realize that I was triggered because of my past relationship. My ex-wife held or hid money, bought a lot of things with our money that were never talked about, big things, big purchases that weren't talked about.
And you've also had other exes steal money from you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fun. Those are, yeah, great.
Huge red flag.
Right, huge red flags. But that was something for me, an instant trigger. And again, like we talked about, you are not
That person.
that person. I think later that day or later that night we talked about it. I'm like, I'm sorry, I was triggered in that moment. Like that was instantly a big red flag for me and an instant trigger because that's happened to me in the past, and it's a way that I felt like, just like we said, punishing the person in the present for something that has happened in the past. And I
Yeah.
think that's where some of that self-reflection can be huge.
Yeah. And because when you're triggered, sometimes those things feel true.
Yeah.
And it feels urgent.
Yeah, but urgency is not always the truth.
For me, I think one of the recent ones that I had to be like, okay, I know this isn't the person from my past, but this makes me really uncomfortable. Like you left, you were upset about something, and then you took my car and you left and you went to clean it or whatever the case, but you didn't tell me you were leaving. You just left.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it was like someone asked, "Where's Matt?" And I was like, I don't know. And I had to look on Life 360 because I'm like, where is Matt? And so I had to tell you later, like, hey, if you need a timeout or you're upset about something and you want to leave the house, like, please let me know because that makes me really uncomfortable
Yep.
because of things from, before. But I didn't want to punish you because you're not, I'm not going to sit there and call you and be like, where the,
Right.
I didn't even say anything when you came back. I just told you the next day, please don't do that. Just say, hey, I need a timeout. I'm going to go take your car or I'm going to go do this, whatever.
Yeah. And that's definitely one of the things that I've got to get better at because they call it stonewalling. That's where you just shut the door and you leave. Mm-hmm. And that's what the name of it is. It's stonewalling, and where you get the last word and you get you just walk out and basically shut the conversation off. And it's not that we were in the middle of a conversation or anything. It's that I knew that I needed a break, and so I went and washed your car.
I mean, you did something nice for me, so it was like, well, thank you for washing my car and cleaning the inside of it.
But I think it was good. The way that you brought it up is, hey, next time, don't leave without telling me.
Yeah.
Don't leave the house without saying something.
Yeah, well, and I have serious, I'd say, fear of abandonment issues. I feel like a lot of that is not as much as it used to be anymore because I've worked really hard on that. So it's not, it wasn't instantly like the same feeling that I would have felt before, but it definitely is something that brings that up, and then I have to talk myself back down,
Right. So even for us, we're still learning. I mean, we're
not perfect.
We're 4 years in, and we're still learning each other's quirks. And
I thought you were about to say we're 40. I was like, shh. Shh.
I've been 40 for a couple of years. You're brand new to the game, but
40 is kicking my ass.
even for us as 40-year-olds, we're still learning.
Yeah.
How to be better people. And I think that you should never stop learning how to better yourself. I've got to get better. I'm sure there are things that you want to get better at.
Oh, absolutely.
So don't be tough on yourself. And like I said before, talk positively, because if you talk negatively and you dog yourself, your brain is going to think that that's true. So speak positive thoughts. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself one positive thing, something you like about yourself.
Yes, you make me do that still.
I do.
Sometimes. Well, if this episode helped you understand why you still feel stuck after leaving something toxic, drop us a comment.
And if you ever felt like healthy love felt weird after chaos, we want to hear from you.
Also, go back and watch the shorts from this week because they all connect. Red flags, love bombing, trauma responses, and the one thing we wish we knew sooner.
Like and subscribe if you're healing from toxic patterns and you're trying to build something healthier.
We're not just here to call everyone a narcissist.
No,
I promise.
definitely not. We're here to help people and let people understand what happened to them and how to move forward. And we're here to let you know that you're not alone.
We'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.